Thank you for joining Apnao Conversations. I am Pearl Ganta, and today we'll be talking to Mr. IAN FORBER-PRATT, Executive Director of Institute for Child Welfare Innovation. Ian Anand is also a Director of Global Advocacy for Children's Emergency Relief International. Ian is passionate about bridging gaps between policy and practice in the field of child welfare and protection. Mr. Ian, welcome to Apnao Conversations. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Pearl. I'm really grateful to be here with you all.
Can you tell us a little bit about your passion for foster care and orphan children?
I have a really strong passion for this work because I'm part of this work. I was born in Kolkata and I was adopted at a very early age. So actually, I don't know any information about my mother and father, biological mother and father. I was adopted by an American family and raised up in America, but always wanted to give back to India. And so I've been working in India for the past 10 years in the child protection field. And it's just everything I live and breathe in my heart is working for vulnerable children throughout India, as well as the amazing people that take care of them.
There's so much that's happening in India because of your contribution in the field, in the area of law, and also in just motivating different NGOs to look at ways of expanding beyond institutional care. So, Ian, what do you say with the current COVID situation? How is it affecting the adoption and foster care system?
Well, it's significantly and profoundly affecting the systems around the world, not just in India. But because psychologically as well as physically, everything has changed. Unfortunately, our children that are in new homes or are in homes that are still adjusting to them being there are very often losing out or being mistreated. The other issue is that caretakers are being very stressed and are trying to figure out how to deal with everything. And so both foster care and adoption have a number of different layers of challenges. And the most important thing, I think, is that children and caregivers need to know this is not a normal time. And they're probably not going to feel normal feelings. And there've got to be coping mechanisms, and the people that work in this field need to be able to reach out to them with an even more loving embrace to empower families and children to be able to manage during these really difficult times.
What would you say to families who are in the adoption process and now that everything has come to a standstill? What advice would you give them?
First thing I would say to them, it's not fair. And I would like them to feel that way, that this is not fair. They have opened their hearts and they're ready for a child and they have to wait longer. It's not fair. And so the most important thing is I'd like to touch their hearts and say, I understand that this is very disappointing, but they should continue to communicate with CARA and communicate with any other organizations they're working with, and continue to keep up that hope and know that whatever their faith-based is, Uparwala, Allah, God, whatever it looks like, right? That they should know that things will continue to move forward, although probably not on their timetable. And then they should connect with somebody else, if it's their partner themselves or somebody else, to just say, ugh, this is not good. And just let that release. If you keep it all inside, it will build up and it will come out in horrible ways. And in India, we don't do that very much, is share those vulnerabilities. But find somebody you can trust and tell them, I'm having a tough day because I thought I would have a child by now. And just release it and then say, Kya kar sakte hain? This is the way it's going. This is what's happening. I know this is happening, and I know that it's happening for other adoptive families as well. We are not alone.
Are there any places or resources that they can look up to encourage themselves?
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, the ministry is putting out very interesting things. So, if you've got access to the web, you can go to the Ministry of Women and Child Development and see some things there. Other big organizations, people like UNICEF and Save the Children and many, many others, Udayan Care, all these different organizations are putting out helpful manuals. But I recommend reaching out to your local organizations too and talking to them because they're going to understand you, the cultural differences, language, all of those things. Also, know that you might call 10 organizations and maybe none of them will give you a positive response. And I'm sorry to say that, but it could happen. Don't get discouraged because as you keep calling people, you're going to find someone that can lift you up. For example, someone might call 5 different people and then they call Pearl. And Pearl says, I'm ready to talk to you and listen. It will happen. So reach out to those around you and use your resources. That's another thing that we don't do in India enough, is look for help and accept help. In this COVID-19 world, you have no choice or you are literally going to go crazy in your home.
What are the ways we can help as a just anybody, as a business or as an individual or as families? How can we be um, helpful around this time?
Well, it all pivots around one point and one point only. People need to feel like they're not alone. When you feel alone in a crisis or in stress, it makes it feel 20 times bigger than it is. So the first thing that we can do fundamentally is reach out more to others. So if you're an organization, making sure that you are doing regular case management so that family or that child knows that every week they're going to get a call from you. Or if you are a friend or a colleague or whatever, making it clear on your schedule that you reach out to people at regular time. Because then, even if somebody is stressed out on a Friday, they know, okay, I know Pearl and her team are going to call on Monday. And so I can get through this. But if they have no idea of when help might come, it's a very difficult thing. And then for the people giving help, especially organizations, documenting that is very important. Because if you call on a Monday and a family is very stressed, and then maybe during the week you call 4 or 5 other families, and then you call that family back the next Monday. If you don't have documentation and notes, sometimes it's like you're having a new conversation. And that's not helpful for a family.
We want to be heard. We want somebody to, uh, talk to us and feel like, yeah, they do care. And remembering minute details like this really says, oh, you did listen. You do care, and that opens up a lot of discussion and probably even shares things that they wouldn't share with others otherwise.
Word there is trust. It builds that trust. And so I'm going to feel so much more cared about and heard if somebody remembers a small thing from last time. So please see Pearl and I right now. Think of others that you can trust. Know that we love you and care about you and are lifting you up.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ian, for joining us today and encouraging us to. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you're on this journey of adopting a child, we salute and commend you. I know you're frustrated with the process going slow because of the COVID-19 and lockdown, but I would encourage you to stay strong. As Ian said, please reach out and ask for help. You can reach out to us at Apnao too. We have counselors who can talk with you and encourage you and just be a support to you. Now, please tune into our next episode where we will continue to talk with Ian about reunification and reintegration of children back into their communities. So thank you for watching today. Please comment and share your thoughts with us, and please do share this video with your friends and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, this is Ganta from Apnao. नई सोच नया जीवन. अपने कदम बढ़ाओ.